Well, hello there, Memorial Road. You'll never believe where I am. Well, maybe you will because you're actually seeing it behind me, but I am on the doorstep of a home getting ready to continue a long dormant feature that I call Elder Encounters. Back when the pandemic first set in March of 2020, I guess it was, I had about 3 of our elders left to interview for this recurring feature, and I didn't forget about it. I pushed pause, but we are now ready to resume with things opening back up and getting back to normal. Is there a more hopeful sign about normalcy than the return of elder encounters? Probably, yes, but this is kind of hopeful too. So anyway, let's go and see whose house we are at today. Hello, how are you? If it isn't Steve and Gail Brookman, how are y'all doing today?
We're good. Come on in.
Well, this is an elder encounter. Are y'all ready?
Ready. So.
All right, here we go. Coming in.
Okay.
Elder Encounters.
Okay, I'll start. Steve Brookman, and we've been at Memorial Road for 32 or 33 years, something like that. We were also student members back in the mid-70s, so we've been at Memorial Road for quite a while. And we are both in the Christian Families Bible class. I'm involved with Daniel and Amy Roberts and working with them at Memorial Road and some of the other ministries. So, let you go.
Okay, I'm Gail Brookman, and in the past I've been involved with Bible studies with people who do not know about Jesus. That's one of the things I'm passionate about. I really haven't been involved with that lately, but that's something that I hope to do again in the future. And I've been involved with some small group Bible studies and also Celebrate Recovery.
Very good. All right, well, let's kind of learn a little bit more about the two of you today. Who knows, y'all might learn a little bit more about each other today as well. This is a very public service that I'm offering. Steve, if you had just 1 hour of free time to do just one thing, what would that be?
Oh, I would go to some type of sporting event, to a ball game, to a Thunder game, or to a baseball game, or maybe a football game, or something involving some kind of a sporting event.
Some kind of sporting event. What do you got, Gail?
I said take a nap.
But before you go to that, you're going to take a nap.
Very true.
Get rest.
Nap first, and then
That
an
absolutely.
activity. Yes.
Priorities, Steve.
And then
Priorities.
a nap when you get back home.
There's nothing like a good nap. I gotta
That's
say,
right.
I'm right there with you. Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, Gail, your first question is this. What famous person, living or dead, other than Jesus, we're gonna say other than Jesus, would you most like to meet?
I think Harriet Tubman, because I just think she was so brave, and she did not have much of an education, and she had a problem with a head injury that caused seizures, and yet she still managed to lead so many slaves to freedom. And I would just like to know, like, how did her faith in God help her with that? She's
What a
always
great answer.
fascinated me.
What a great answer. Fascinating person. Absolutely. Well, Steve, how'd you do? If you guessed Harriet Tubman, I'm gonna be very impressed.
Not quite Harriet Tubman, but I said
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Okay.
Oh, well, after 44 years, you know me really well, then, don't you?
Oh man,
yes.
That's great. Well, not quite on the same page there, but that's all right. We're learning. We're all learning about each other. Absolutely. All right, Steve. Question number 2 for you is this. Now you get to answer for yourself, and then we're going to see kind of how Gail rated you on this. So on a scale of 1 to 5, Steve, where 5 is hilarious, how funny are you?
Oh, Boy, that's a good question. I would say about a 3.5, but I would say about a 4.
A 4, okay, Gail. Wow, look at that, a 4, fantastic.
yeah.
So
She got one.
nicely done, nicely done. Very good. All right, your next question, Gail, is this. What is your biggest pet peeve?
I think it would be people who talk all the time and don't show an interest in the person that they're talking with, that they don't listen, they just only talk.
Great answer. Great answer. Steve, what'd you go with?
Well, I said a little bit different.
I bet you said loud noises.
No,
No?
that was not it, but that's a good one too.
That's a good one too.
No, I said your pet peeve is the way that I wipe off the table.
Oh, that's
Well,
true.
I got to hear more about this. So Gail, what is?
Well, I'll say, honey, would you mind wiping off the table? And he'll say, sure. And I'll look over, and he's just taking his hand and just doing this.
That sounds like my method.
It's just, yeah, the hand just
Yeah,
So
wiping
really,
it off, and it works every time.
hands are perfectly perfectly adequate for.
But for some reason, she's not real happy about that. Kind of is one of her pet peeves.
that's true.
So I am seeing some nodding here. So Gail, once he
that's
said
true.
that, you're
Yes,
nodding
I
along
can see
in
how you
agreement.
choose
So
that.
good answers. Good answers. Okay, I have got a question from our previous participant, who Lynn and Joy McMillan want to know the following: have you faced a crisis, and what did you learn from it? A really good question. Have you faced a crisis, and what did you learn from it?
I would say, the first specific answer that came to mind was during the pandemic when we could not go see Steve's mother in assisted living, and how hard that was. And I know Philip's already mentioned this in his sermon, but Steve took a position in the kitchen as a server so that he could go in and see his mother. And so I think that we had to learn to be resourceful, and we relied on God for help. And Steve did something that was pretty difficult, but in the long run, now that she's passed away, we're just so glad that he did that.
Absolutely. What a good story. We always wrap these up by asking what you would like to know of our next participants. I'm not exactly sure who that's going to be yet, but do you have a question in mind that you'd like to hear them answer?
Yes, our question is, what is your favorite vacation spot that you would like to go to?
Excellent. Your favorite vacation spot.
Yes.
Very good. I will be asking that to our next participants. I have one just random add-in question I think all of our viewers would like to know. Is there something particularly memorable or funny about Philip that we need to know that the church does not yet know?
Well, when he was a toddler, he had a stuffed rabbit named Fluffy, and he would not go anywhere without Fluffy. And he cried when he was 2 and we started coming to Memorial Road, and he went to Bible class, and he would cry every time, and so the teacher let him start bringing Fluffy to Bible class, and then he did much better after that.
And is Fluffy still around?
Fluffy lives at our house now, yes.
I may need to get my hands on Fluffy at some point, absolutely.
Fluffy would go to the doctor's office when Philip got shots for his asthma, and Philip would give Fluffy a shot, and Philip made a little stethoscope so he could listen to Fluffy's heartbeat. It was just a very much important part of his life.
It sounds
when
like
he
it.
was little.
Sounds like it. Very well. I'll be asking Philip about Fluffy soon, and I'm sure he has fond memories for sure. So thank you for your time today and how you
Thank you.
serve.
Thank you.
And this has been another edition of Elder Encounters. Wave goodbye.
Elder Encounter.